Is it time to buy a new laptop or upgrade? Let's see the process, and then of course, figure out how it's worth it or not worth it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Nikos. Today we're talking about upgrading your laptop or buying something new. The question I get a lot, so I thought let me come up with a good video here to walk through the idea of how do we figure out what we can upgrade, A. B, is it worth it? And C, if it's not worth it, then we know what to do. And if it is worth it, then how do we actually calculate that budget and look at what should we be going for in upgrading if we do decide to upgrade? So the idea is very simple. The question comes in and it says, hey, I'm having all these issues and what do you think I should do? Is it my RAM? Is it my hard drive? And in this particular case, we're going to be looking at somebody who has an Acer Nitro laptop, a Nitro 5, and they have issues where the Chrome doesn't open up properly. You can't have a lot of tabs. It's very sluggish. It's very slow. There's always some kind of issue with it, and then they're trying to play video games and the video games aren't working. And then, yes, the idea goes that people have had these Nitro 5s and they are creators and they can't do video editing. They can't do certain aspects of photography editing. And they're just kind of like, I need something better, or can I upgrade this? So let's jump in and look at these Nitro 5s. Now, the Nitro 5 here, this is the newest version. It's the gaming laptop, and this is the 57. We're going to be looking at the 53, which is about 3 years old, but I just wanted to show you, hey, they're on sale. The regular price is $1,600. It's $1,249 now. And when you scroll down, what you'll find is in every case, there is the max memory you can put in this, and then how much it comes with. Some people will buy it with 8 gigabytes, some people will buy it with 16. A lot of gamers will buy it with 8 gigabytes, thinking that's going to be enough, but usually the idea would be 16 is the minimum, but I always recommend 32. Now, this is DDR4, so clearly the newer laptops are coming out with DDR5. If you're going to be buying a new laptop, do not buy a DDR4 unless your budget is at that place, but it's just the idea of the new technology. And then it gives you the bare minimum on the storage. So we're like, okay, 12 gigabytes, that's like nothing. At the same time, it gives you a nice video card here with a 3050. It's not the Ti, but it's pretty good. And then when you scroll down, it gives you the network card. And this is a Wi-Fi 6AX now, so this is awesome. If you have one of the new routers, it's going to be super fast. And it's got the great Bluetooth on there too. So we look at this idea and we go, okay, that's where the new computers are. And if we look at the specs, again, the base specs, we do see the idea that these new ones, this one comes with a 3050 Ti and on this version. And as I scroll down, it comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM. There's 2 memory slots. So this is either going to be 2 sets of 4 or 1 set of 8. And then, of course, we look at what is the storage capability here as a bare minimum. Now, when we go and Google, the product we're looking at is the 53, and literally we can go and find the product support, and we can click in here and we can start looking at the different types of product support that exists with the drivers, the documents. So if you haven't updated everything, you should go check all the different drivers that exist. It might fix up your computer a lot if you've never done the chipset and you haven't been doing all the updates, etc., etc. I would go in and put in the serial number that's on the bottom of the computer. Make sure you find the exact model. You want to find the product specs of the exact model. So you would click on product specs, search this, and it will give you the exact model. Now, in my case, I didn't have the exact model. We're just looking at it in general. So you would have to confirm everything and make sure that you are buying the right things that match up with your laptop. Now, at the same time, you can call Acer, and before you move forward, make sure that you get the right thing there. And of course, you'll be looking at it and saying, does everything fit that I'm purchasing? The other thing you can do is look at it and say, all right, if I'm going to go build this, replace all this, and I want to open up the laptop, do I want to take the risk or go to a computer shop? When you go to the computer shop, they'll charge you anything between 50 and 75 bucks, and they will open up the laptop, do that work. So then the question just becomes, is that really worth it for you? And they will confirm all the products and go that route, or do you want to try it out and open up the laptop on your own? Now, at the same time, we're looking at it and saying there's a community. You can go look at all the different things that they are talking about in the community and find more specifics to your laptop. Again, the community is always a great place to go and see what mistakes people have made and what questions they've had, and usually they're similar to yours. A lot of research goes a long way, and you should be researching all of this stuff before making a purchase, all right? This is a general view. It's not specific to anybody's certain laptop. Now, price-wise, the newer ones cost about $12.49 on sale again. And I wanted to just put this into perspective because we're going to be looking at prices. And you want to look at this and say, what is worth it? Say you were just going to upgrade it. First thing we're going to do is do a quick search on RAM upgrade, and we see the Crucial website come up. And the Crucial website is awesome. So when you click into it, it's going to give you your computer, and they have like a list of like pretty much every computer. And it'll tell you right off the bat, there are two slots, and 8 gigabytes removable is the basic that it comes with. So you can either add 8 gigabytes to this if it came with 8 gigabytes and you have 16, or you can add 16 and get 24, or you can replace both with 32 gigabytes. Now, in my personal opinion, if you're opening up this laptop and depending on how it opens, which we're going to look at in a sec, you could just upgrade this and be done with it. 32 gigabytes and you're done. Now your computer is going to be super fast. Now, in the case of this person, and again, for people, if you are upgrading your laptop because it's sluggish, because there are different issues with it, like you can't use it for most things, there are two go-to things that you need to look at: the RAM and the hard drive. You got to check to see how fast the hard drive is, and you got to check to see how much RAM you have on there and what is your use case scenario. And then from there, you can make more educated decisions on what you need to do. But in most cases, a hard drive bump up will be better than a RAM bump up. Now, if you have a lot of things going on the go and it's slow, then the RAM is a big issue. But then if your hard drive is slow, that's the first one we want to look at. And almost every case, everybody is like, yeah, that made a difference. So we're looking at this and saying, since we're opening it, let's look at 32 gigabytes. That's going to be 126 bucks American here. And we're going to go find this in Canadian dollars as well, because I looked it up. And this is your Newegg, and this is in Canada. It's 134 bucks. So you can get it cheaper on Newegg for sure. This, you'll probably find it in American for like, $95, $100, maybe 105. So you can wait for a sale, or you can just purchase this up and be ready to go. Now, the other thing we got to look at is what kind of drives can you put on this? And we can look at compatible SSDs, and they tell you, hey, you can look at the storage, and they list off a whole bunch of their SSDs here. And the idea then becomes, okay, based on the computer and the base specs, what can you do? Now, a lot of these come with NVMe SSD drive, which is a faster drive than these SSDs, and you would probably buy one of these, like a 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte, so you can use that for storage if you're a creator, for instance, or if you're a gamer and you put all the games on here. And then you would have the opportunity to replace the other super fast drive with something else. Now, before we move forward, you want to do a Google on YouTube and find the different video creators who have opened a laptop and upgraded, and we can see here right off the bat, this is your SSD drive, the big one here. And we can replace that then with any kind of SSD, any company, not just Crucial. So we know from Crucial, confirmed with this, and I know I can upgrade this. And then there is a slot here for an SSD, an NVMe style. So you're looking at this and saying, okay, I can put my Windows on a super fast drive and then put the regular SSD here for any kind of storage. The other thing is the RAM is right here, and you can place your RAM and replace your RAM no problem. Here's your Wi-Fi card that you can just unhook and then replace it with a faster Wi-Fi card, and here's your battery that you could replace. So this is a lot of things we can replace on this laptop. Now, the idea is that if you just wanted to replace the RAM and this hard drive, you can do that without opening the laptop. In the other case, you do have to open the laptop. So you would replace this RAM right here by opening the little spot, quick 5 minutes. And again, the drive would take you a good quick 5 minutes here, and you're good to go. Now, again, I'm going to come back to this, and I'm going to just point out that this person will go and clean everything. So if you've had your laptop for a while you're opening this up, you should have maintenance on it and clean out the fans and this and that. If you go to somebody, they will most likely do it automatically. So knowing all this, now I can go back to my spec sheet, or I can, and look exactly what the top space I can, or capacity I can do. But in most cases, I can do a 1 terabyte, and I can buy one of these drives for $139 here on Amazon. Again, this is on Newegg, and again, this is Canadian, and not a bad deal for this kind of a drive. And then I'm going to look at these other SSDs that are super fast, and you can look at it and say, well, what do I need? you're going to need a Gen 3. So you're going to go for either a 970, a 980, or any of the other products that are out there. The 980s are new. I've heard good things about them. I have not tested them, but I am a real big supporter of the Evo Plus. They usually go on sale too. So we can average that to around 150 bucks as well, but here 143. Now this again is Canadian, and you'd be looking at around 120 for one of those in the States. You can also replace the battery, and the batteries are going to run between 55, 50 bucks all the way up to like 75, and you can get one of these aftermarket ones. You replace it while you're in there, no problem. And of course you want to get one of these Wi-Fi cards. So if you don't have a Wi-Fi 6 card, you're looking at it and saying, 40 bucks, I can just replace that. So you want to make sure all the specs again are correct. So you need to go in your spec sheet, make sure they are correct before you buy anything. And I would buy everything on sale. I would keep looking and then update everything. But you want to be within a 30-day period is my goal. And this is what I tell everybody. Whatever you buy it from somewhere you can return so that you can test it out, make sure it runs, make sure you don't have any issues so that you don't have any problems down the road. This is the goal. Why do I say this? And why do I say it this way? Because often is the case, people will buy something and then they can't return it. And then they go, whoa, why doesn't it work? And they get upset at either the seller or the manufacturer, or the specs aren't 100%. And you're not always going to be getting the right things. And sometimes you do have to test things out. And I've returned stuff that I never kept because they didn't perform to what the specs were saying they would perform at. And sometimes I bought something where I waited and then I didn't do that, and then I had to deal with the manufacturer and I had to send it out, and it was like a 3-4 week process, and I was just like, oh, why did I do that? So this is something to be thinking about as you're moving forward and going, okay, what am I able to do? So this would clean up this laptop and it'd be super fast. And the idea then becomes, well, is it worth it? So if I look at that price point and I say to myself, well, how much is it going to cost me to just upgrade everything? So we did see the RAM can go for 139 or 134 it was, and then the SSD was 139, and then the other SSD was 149, I believe, and give or take, here we're averaging. And then I looked at the Wi-Fi card, that was 50 bucks, and the battery was another, I'm gonna just go with 75 for one of the better ones, and we're looking at around $547. Now you're gonna say to yourself, that's a lot of money. And it is a lot of money, especially when you can buy something for $12.49, but this won't be upgraded. This will be your bare minimum, right? So the idea now becomes, well, how much does this actually cost me if I say want to upgrade and I don't want to spend an arm and a leg for a new laptop? It's 547 bucks. Now let's look at this in a different way. So 547 bucks, we're just going to go to 550 so it can be easier. And we're going to say to ourselves, well, for if I just subtract the $112.49, we're looking at $700 more. I get the newer laptop. But again, you're not going to get 32 gigabytes. You're not going to get the faster drives. And this is going to be kind of something that you're going to think about and go, oh, I'm probably going to have to upgrade that one when I get it too, if I really want the best of the best. So here's another way to look at this. Say I look at the $12.49 and we just bought that base model. Okay. And I divide that by 24 months. So 2 years. It's going to cost me around 5,200 bucks. Okay. 5,200 bucks. Well, what's the 550 going to cost me for 1 year? 45 bucks. So you're extending your life of your laptop based on that base model for a year so you can utilize it. Now you might say, is that worth it or is not worth it? We're looking at it a monthly commitment for you to say, hey, I can upgrade this based on buying something new or waiting. Now, the new laptops coming out will be way better with the new video cards that will come out the following year. So then, I mean, is it worth waiting in that case? Right? So different scenarios. You have to look at it in terms of time, energy, and money. At the same time, I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, okay, well, if I went to upgrade this to the best of the best, I'd be looking at this and I'd be saying, how does that really shape up for me? And then how do I go into that process? So the aspect of this is looking at all the different laptops that are gaming, and I'm going to go through this mindset of I need to get something that's at least 32 gigabytes in order for me to actually use my video software. I'm going to have to get something that has a newer video card and so on and so forth. And you can see as I scroll down here, the price starts to come up. Okay, and this is kind of like when you get into the 3060 cards, which are faster, it's $17.99. We get up to $18.99, and here is $2,099. And again, you're only getting 16 gigabytes of RAM. You would have to replace this gigabytes and with 32. So again, you're spending more money. And we get into, they're not even offering 32 gigabytes. So we can see you can get 1 terabyte. So you're looking at about $2,100. So if I go back to my calculator here, and I'll just tell you right now, you're probably going to upgrade more stuff. But say with everything involved there, it's $2,400, say, okay? And I divide this now by 24. I'm looking around $100, and this is why I picked 24. It's a little bit easier to do, but you're going to be in and around here. And now the question becomes, what's more appealing for what you need? Not what you want, what you need. Again, time, energy, and money. So you're extending the life for $50 a month, and you're going to get a laptop that's running faster than what you currently have. And at the same time, if you buy everything from somewhere you can return it, well, guess what? If you try it all out and you run it and you don't find the difference and you're not happy with it, return everything, right? If you're opening the laptop, if you're doing everything, you're in the 30 days, return everything, and then go buy the new laptop. Let's think before we do. This is why I always say buy from where you can return, because sometimes, even though you think it's going to work the way you think, it doesn't. Often is the case that people will just format their computer and it'll be night and day. I format my computer every time I do an update with Adobe, because for some reason it never, whatever steps I follow, it never goes as fast as it should. And then I do a new install, and then all of a sudden, night and day. So for me, it's easy. And if you have an extra drive in there and you move all your data over there, do a quick format, you're off to the races. The way things are right now, it takes me 45 minutes to an hour. Okay. On that note, if you replace these drives, you're either going to have to get a connector so you can transfer everything over, or do a fresh install. So just put that into your note. I do have the video. I'll leave that below. But again, this is the process I would take, whether you are a gamer to the professional and the creators and the people that are growing. How do you look at this in terms of saving money? And how do you look at it in terms of growing your business, growing the opportunities for the next set of laptops? And now you know that, hey, if I'm going to go buy something, I can do the comparison in such a way where it makes sense and see if it's worth it. I'm going to make another video on buying a new laptop and looking at how you should be thinking about buying a new laptop, and then thinking about the upgrades in those, so you can have a top-notch computer where you don't spend all the money with the actual company, and you go and do it yourself. Leave your questions, comments below. Of course, check out these videos, and I will see you next time.